Hey party people, it's me JIBRON here, back again with another video. If this is your first time tuning in, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and welcome back to JIBRON Unhinged. Hi y'all, I know we are in a different setup. I didn't address it the last week, but this week I'm gonna address it. Thank you to my wonderful teacher, Jack Allen, for allowing me to use our studio here on campus to record our messy and sometimes eventful show. This is gonna be our little temporary setup. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you love it. I hope you love it as much as I do, because we all know I'm a show pony and I love lights, cameras, and action. All right, y'all. First things first, let's give prayers up to D'Angelo's family. If you don't know what happened, the neo-soul singer recently passed away after his battle with pancreatic cancer at the age of 51. His son just lost his mother, Angie Stone, early this year after a car crash. Let's give praise up to them, sending positive vibes, sending all the love and support to his family, because you never know what people are going through. It's very, very sad, and you know, it's just, it was shocking to me, because I was just listening to Lady the other day. That's my favorite D'Angelo song ever, but that's just sad. Speaking of people who passed away, Celeste was recently laid to rest on October the 6th, I believe. She had a tent on the grounds of the cemetery ceremony underneath the white tent, and there was pictures up around, according to TMZ, celebrating her life. You know, she was 14 years old when she lost her life. There hasn't really been any updates in the case. They're still doing investigations. It's very sad that someone that young had to pass away. It's like you planned a funeral before you even planned your wedding or a baby shower. But speaking of people, David, girl. Now, David, you and I could have been contemporaries had I actually released my album, but that's none of my business, and we'll talk about that another day. David, you looking mighty fishy, because let me tell you what he decided to do after they discovered the body in his car. David transferred 2 of his homes, which, first of all, how are you affording 2 houses? Granted, I don't know. Apparently, you've been touring. You have more money than I do, clearly, so I really can't talk because I've never owned a home. But, you transfer 2 of your houses to your mother in a trust fund, and you don't think you look fishy or odd? I don't know who just transfers assets from themselves to their mothers unless you're trying to hide some money. It looks mighty odd. You haven't been accused of anything, but we gonna pray and we gonna move on. Y'all, I was minding my black business at home. No, I was at work. I was at the register, and I'm scrolling on Twitter, and I saw something trending, and I just couldn't believe my eyes. Karen left jail, and Wendy went in it. I said, not Dr. Wendy. Dr. Wendy and her husband were recently arrested for, get this, insurance fraud. I couldn't believe it. She went from having 4 degrees to 7 felonies she's facing. Keep in mind, she's going to be in October, tentatively at November the 7th, because those people said, we want to get her justice, okay? And they said she would not be treated like a celebrity. She's not even a real celebrity. She's a Bravo celebrity. But anyway, let me tell you all what happened. So get this. Wendy and her lawyer husband, Dr. Wendy, excuse me, like she liked to dress them girls. Dr. Wendy and her lawyer husband, Eddie, were apparently trying to get some money out of the insurance claim. So get this, they called the authorities after they had a trip to Jamaica, I believe, and they said that the home was burglarized and that the people entered in through the 2nd story floor of their master bedroom. Keep in mind, the detectives said they saw nothing from no one. They saw no signs of forced injuries, no ladders, no nothing. But I digress. And the detectives were mighty fishy, and they had every right to be, because one of the items that Wendy reported stolen, guess what, was on her Instagram the next week. See, this is what happens when you go from trying to be an astute professor to a Bravo baddie. I'm not understanding why you chose your good job to be on reality television fighting with these hussies. Like, you are on the same cast as a woman who got convicted for 4 DUIs. Granted, she has an illness, but you see my point. Everybody thought your lifestyle was fraudulent for years, but I guess now this is proof. So get this. On October the 9th, her and her husband were arrested, and they looked like they had been taking something from their stash, because Happy Eddie owns a cannabis company, and they were all smiles and giggles, and they posted $50,000 bond for both of them. So you had $100,000. I wonder was that money from the fraudulent claim that you had? Because guess what, y'all? They stole upwards of $450,000. That's what they're accused of lying about. Because Wendy and her husband were actually emailing this First of all, why are you emailing if you share the same bed, you share the same house, you share everything, but y'all emailing about your fraud? It's a phone call. But anyway, or literally, honey, come upstairs. But anyway, they were emailing about like how can they get more money. So they even included items that they had returned years ago, including a $500 Gucci wallet. I was confused on why someone with 4 degrees is so stupid. Like, this is the type of greed that the Bible talks about. Like, how on earth can you, out of all people, Dr. Wendy with 4 degrees, sit around and try to commit fraud to try to keep up with the job? First of all, nobody on Potomac really has that much money because, I mean, y'all aren't astute. I remember when Potomac came out, they were supposed to be like the snooty version of Housewives of Atlanta, which Dr. Wendy could have been if she didn't go get her boobs done and her butt done, all because she wanted to, I guess, keep up this image of what else was going on. But the problem is you were trying to keep up with the Joneses, and the Joneses is not checking for you, and now you're facing fraud, and these people are not checking for you at all. And on top of that, you claim you resigned, and the university said you did too. You were a visiting professor at another university, and you were teaching the sociology of reality television, which I didn't realize there needed to be a class to teach how to be a reality star. I either just thought you were entertaining or you weren't. But whatever. Apparently she's not a good professor because she's about to potentially go to jail, and on top of that, Bravo's distancing themselves from her because she was supposed to be on Wife Swap on Bravo, and they pulled her episode, allegedly. This is why it's always important, ladies and gentlemen, to live in your truth. Don't check for nobody else. If you don't have it, work until you get it. But anyway, y'all, that's all the time that I have this week. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next week. Love y'all. Bye.